Math is the most fuck-ass subject of them all. We really don't need it because unless you're gonna be an engineer or game programmer or something, all you need is simple arithmetic, which you've probably mastered by 5th grade. And even if you do need to do an advanced problem, there's always a calculator to do it for you, so fuck all that nonsense. And while chemistry in freshman year was the worst class I ever took, it certainly wasn't the hardest. That shitty distinction goes to algebra too. But like chemistry, almost all math is entirely worthless to anybody's life, so it's really a big fucking waste of time. But before I get into that, we must first analyze my history with this stain of a subject. When I lived in Maryland, almost everyone was brain dead, so if you took advanced classes you were normal, and if you took normal classes you were dumb. As a result, I took algebra in 7th grade and it was shitty. I got C's on all my tests and I had to retake a few of them because, you know, it sucked. And to make matters worse, I had it the last period of the day, so I had to look at the numerical equivalent of diarrhea to put an end to an already shitty day. So in 8th grade I took geometry. Not much to be said there, I got mostly B's. I thought it was simple, and the niggas were in the class, so not much to complain about. But it was still math, so I fucking hated it, but whatever. And then everything went downhill when I moved to everybody's favorite state. When I got to Missouri, I made the grave mistake of taking all advanced classes. Unlike Maryland, it turns out that kids in Missouri aren't brain dead, they're just fuck niggas. Another key difference is that periods were now an hour and 30 minutes long as opposed to the normal 45 to 50 in Maryland because the school ran on a shitty block schedule to increase the rates of student suicide. So I was put in a terrible ass Algebra 2 class which I promptly failed and was told I had to take an on-level course. At the time I was sick in the head and still under the idea that on-level meant below functioning, so I tried to stay in advanced, but eventually I gave in and took on-level classes. Despite this concession, I was still taking major L's in math, so I had to come in for extra help. This meant staying in for another hour and 30 minutes to do math by my teacher's desk, so I had to deal with the hell of math basically every day. But I guess there was some sort of fertility ritual going on because like my chemistry teacher, my algebra teacher got pregnant and went MIA for the rest of the year. And algebra 2 is without a doubt the most unnecessarily difficult class I've ever taken. But unfortunately, the wickedness of mathematics sees no limits. As I moved out of Missouri, I took honors algebra 3 my sophomore year. My classmates were mostly fake bums that liked to pretend I didn't exist. Like, the teacher would split us into groups and they would try their absolute hardest to avoid dialogue with me because they were fucking cunts, but it's whatever. And there's only one person in my grade that was in that class that I don't dislike, so if you're not that person and you're watching this video, then fuck you. But yeah, I really hated that class and all their unfunny try-hardy bullshit jokes. Always had some dumb shit to say. And then my junior year I took AP Calculus. Now, a lot of niggers would say, "Hey chief, you low-key smart for taking calculus," but the reality is not that simple. By no intelligence of mine did I make it that far, it was just the way things had to be. Another thing is, almost everyone in the class finessed the hell out of the test answers, so there was only 1 or 2 real smart people in the class while the rest of us were just parasites, but it doesn't make a fucking difference. I hated calculus as a subject because it was fucking nonsense, but at least there were a few real ones in the class. And then the day came when we took the AP test, which was a giant ass failure. I had given up on understanding the fuck ass subject, so I just put in rando answers for most of it, and the test costed like $75, so it was a waste of time and money. And almost everyone who took the test was a fuck nigga, so I looked like a dope all by myself when the break time came. Not much time passed after that when my junior year ended, and finally I was free from the yoke of math. And as of now I don't have to suffer through any of my classes, but don't worry, I still hate all of them. But still, I feel thankful that I don't have to take any bitch ass math notes or go through tests that I'll almost certainly fail. That is until I go to college and have to relive this bullshit all over again. So the moral of the story is fuck math, we don't need it, and fuck the ops.